AI tools aren't just a trend. They transform how job seekers craft their resumes. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can use AI tools to have a resume that stands out.
Yeah, I do agree. Now we have so much great AI tools, and and they are improving. But I have a feeling that people are relying too much on AI for resume building. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think AI is a great tool. It's especially helpful for people who maybe don't have someone to go to who has worked in corporate or worked in a traditional job market to reference a resume, right? But AI is a tool. It's not a solution. You should not be going into any AI platform expecting something perfect to come back out. It doesn't really matter how much you tailor that AI, how much you tell it you want it to talk like you or act as a career coach even, right? It's not going to be a perfect resume when it comes out. So you have to make sure that you still really understand the basics of resume writing.
So basically, just use it as what it is. It's a tool. It's not a replacement. It's not a human. It's not a coach. It's a tool to help you do what you usually do, which is put in your 2 cents, your work, your research into this, and have it help you.
Yeah. And instead of like doing the info dump, right? People take all of their information, just dump it into AI and expect it to come out with this, perfectly formatted, perfect solution resume. Go line by line, give it your best shot. Start with a very basic resume, formatting a professional summary at the top, which should just be 2 to 3 basic sentences or statements rather. From there, go into your skills and your work experience, your education. That's the general format of a resume, right? So give it a setup and then go through piece by piece rather than taking the whole thing and just dropping it in there, because then you're more focused on what section you're editing, and also word by word, you can determine if that's the tone that you would use.
So how about ATS? I know what it is, but a lot of people see ATS compliant, ATS here. Tell me what that is specifically and how we can take advantage of, this format.
Yeah. So ATS systems are very complicated and not complicated at all at the same time. So they're very complicated in the sense that every ATS essentially can function differently. There's different laws around ATS. There's different functions within that ATS. I've personally worked in ATS systems. I worked in one of the larger ATS systems, which also actually is one of the more controversial ATS systems. But there's a lot of different tools in there to help make the process easier for recruiters, right? Like filtering and identifying qualifications.
But tell me, what's an ATS? Break it down like I was 5 years old. What's that?
Yeah. So when you submit your job application, right, it's going to a platform. These are HR systems essentially. So a lot of times it's the same thing that you may see for processing for payroll, things like that, right? So a job seeker is probably not going to be familiar with that platform. We can just start there as one of the challenges.
Okay.
Yeah. But essentially your application is going into that applicant tracking system, and it's getting sent over to the recruiter. From there, recruiters can utilize tools to better sort through applications and also track them. It's really a tracking system. So recruiters can say, okay, this person is in the phone screen, this person is on, first interview or panel interview, however the company sorts it out. So it's a way for them to not only keep track of candidates, but also keep track of the process, where they're at, if they need follow-up or if they don't.
Yeah. So I think helping tailor your resume to different jobs, I think AI can help you in that area as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can drop your resume into AI, into any AI platform, pull the job description, right? Copy paste it, drop it in there, and say, tailor my resume to this role. And I think that's an effective way to do that, again, if you're really paying attention to the editing. However, I think one of the better ways to approach that is to drop the job description and ask AI to pull the key responsibilities, tools, qualifications from that job application. Keywords is something to focus on, and then incorporate that into your resume so you're not losing your own tone in that document.
Yeah. And also, I think AI can improve clarity and readability as well, help you with your blind spots. I don't know if you've used that feature.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also important to recognize that not everyone is starting from the same point on, writing technique, resume writing. Everybody has a different style in that, but also we're all coming from different backgrounds, different educational systems, right? So this is a great way where you can utilize it to provide some clarity. For example, English may not be your first language, right? And so just sentence structure itself could look different for you. So utilizing it in that way so that you can double check things like grammar, spelling, and overall tone, I think is a great approach.
Okay. Yeah, and I think also you have to keep it human and authentic, meaning it doesn't matter how great it is, you go in, there are the famous ChatGPT dashes.
Yes.
That's one way to go in and take these out. Some turn of phrases are very clunky, and they show that you've overly used AI. I think you have to make sure you go in and humanize your resume and make sure it reflects you really.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we can't underestimate the repetition of AI. If you have a completely AI generated resume, chances are that there's other people that have a resume out there that sound very similar. It's part of the reason why even with Yellowtail Tech that we individually review every single resume before we give it this stamp of approval to go into job search, so that everyone may have the same format, but not every resume is sounding the same.
Yeah, and I also think one task you can give AI is to help you highlight achievements,
Yes.
not only duties. And how do you think that could help people?
Incorporating data in your resume is how you make your resume and responsibilities stand out. This is how you show who you are as an employee with concrete evidence. So AI is a great way to pull some of that data. Something I encourage job seekers to do if they're currently employed and starting the process of job search is to every day at the end of each workday, sit down, take 10 minutes and write out everything that you did that day, everything that you accomplished. Do it for a week, take that journal, put it into ChatGPT and ask it where you should focus on pulling data, extracting data, so that you have a real life experience that you're adding numbers to.
Oh, interesting. I've never thought about that. So basically keep a journal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically what we've realized, at least the coaching team and myself, is that AI, especially with resume writing, is a great tool. With interview prep, we have great tools to help you with interview prep when it comes to AI. But you need to actually be part of that process, because AI can help you, but you need to control the process. You need to be involved in the process. It's very, very important.